Okay, Miss Gabby Mack, aka Catherine of Aragon. Did I say that right?
You did.
Yes.
Most people say it wrong, but you did say it right.
I Googled it to make sure I was saying it right. What's going on? How are you?
I'm like trying to get back used to being back on land, and I'm still not adjusted. I've been back for like a month and a half, and I'm still not like used to being here. So there's that.
Well, you're also in Cleveland, and it's cold.
It's very cold.
Yeah.
I try not to leave the house if I don't have to.
Yeah, but you were in wasn't Alaska cold or no?
It really wasn't. We were there during like the summer. So I think the coldest it ever got was like 50 degrees. It was pretty warm. I was shocked. Yeah.
That's not bad. We go way back. What? How long have we been friends? Like 10 years, 11 years?
Yeah, no, it will be 10 years. I think I met you when I was like 21 and I'm about to be 31. So
yeah.
In
like
2 months.
You're my longest friend that I like still hang out with in person. So I don't know if that says a lot to anyone watching this, but me and Gabby, we're cool. So not only are you Catherine of Aragon on the hit Broadway musical 6. Wow, that felt really cool to say. Do you love saying that to people?
No, I'm not like in real life. I don't like attention in that way. So then when you lead with that, then people get very weird. I've noticed like, it's like the hot show right now. So, I mean, it's like, I'm obviously proud to be in it, but I also feel like it's such a conversation piece that I'm like, oh yeah.
Was there like, when you were on the ship, did people refer to you as that? Like, would you hear people like, oh, hey, Catherine, and you'd be like, wait, what?
Yeah. So a lot of times they didn't remember our names. So they would just know us by like the color we wore. So oh, you're the gold one. You're the gold one, rather than like knowing my character's name. They'd be like, you're my favorite. Yeah. And like, how am I your favorite if you don't know my name?
Yeah. So not only have you done that, that's a huge accomplishment, but you're a teacher. You've done so many different things. Like you've been on reality TV. That's crazy. You're killing it on TikTok. You've had a few podcasts of your own, right? So
I have 2 and I'm starting a 3rd one.
Oh, I think I did see that you wanted to start a 3rd one. Can you tell us what it's about?
So it's going to be the other 2. Sorry, there's like a crumb on my face. I'm distracted. The other 2 were mostly like just industry based. So this 3rd one, it's going to be, and I've always done it with other people, but this is going to be my own solo podcast, which is going to be like about industry, about myself, about like my friends that are, some of them will be in the industry. Some of them will just be like people who have real people jobs. And it would just kind of be whatever I feel like talking about that week.
Yeah.
It's going to be called The Gab, because that's what my TikTok show is called. So it's going to be called The Gab, and it's just whatever I feel like talking about that week.
Oh, I love it. So you also run a business, and this is why I'm excited to have you, because you are like textbook creative entrepreneur. You've taken your talent and you've created multiple streams of income from your talent and your skill set. And that's just what a creative entrepreneur is. You also were my first written Q&A when I was just doing the BENSBOSS blog.
I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah. June 2020, I dug up the article and I wanted to read you something from it. Are you ready?
I don't know. I'm scared.
Oh, no, it's not bad. Okay. So I asked you, what advice do you have for others who are considering starting their own business? And you said, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Some weeks will be harder than others, but don't give up. Make sure that your product or service is undeniably solid. If you have an amazing product, the clients will come. And I feel like you took your own advice. You didn't give up. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Most of the time we don't take our own advice.
No, truly. Like, I feel, and I would say this to my castmates, I feel like I'm very, of course, like I moved to New York when I was 18. So like, of course, I'm like, I'm going to go to New York.
Which is wild.
I'm going to be on TV. I'm going to be in film. Like, of course, you have this plan when you're literally a teenager that these things are going to happen for you.
Yeah.
And for me, my big, like I've had little big breaks. Like the reality show and just like certain productions I've been in and like winning awards and things like that. But like my big commercial success happened when I got it a few weeks before I turned 30. And I just like, I appreciated it so much more. And I was really blessed to have like a cast full of people who really appreciated it. But a lot of them were brand new. Like 2 of them had just graduated college. It was their first gig. And like some of us older people were just like, it's like, doesn't always happen like this. Like this is such a special, you know, thing. And I feel like it was a struggle to get here, but I'm just glad that now that I'm here, I'm like, oh, it was worth it. Like this was the exact fit, the perfect opportunity, perfect group of people, perfect show. Like the whole experience was a dream. And so I'm just excited because right before I really was like over it, to be honest, I was telling everyone, I'm like, I think I'm just not supposed to be like commercially successful in that way. Because it was a lot of work and a lot of years. But yeah, I was really ready to just like, and not be done, but I just was like, this is just like a lot of work for like not a lot of payoff. And so I'd rather like enjoy my quality of life and not focus so much on this thing. But yeah, it all worked itself out. And so I'm glad that like, and even now I still am just like, after this is done, what do I want to do next? Because the industry in itself is very like draining and very, very draining. It's a lot of energy, a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of heartbreak. And so even after this, I'm like, what do I do after this? Because this is like my dream show. And I don't really know. Like right now, there's not really much I want to do outside of this show. So maybe that would change. But as of now, I'm like, and I think I'll go back to teaching. And I still feel the way I felt before. But I'm glad that I could check it off the bucket list.
But I remember back when you were just like ready to call it quits and you were doing a few auditions, but I remember you saying something about like, if you were to get any of those parts, 6 was the one you wanted because it's pop, like that's your genre, right? Mm-hmm. And you were so frustrated because you did quite a few callbacks for them, right?
Mm-hmm. I went through the process. It wasn't until the 3rd time I auditioned that I booked it. But the process each time is like, there's like 6 rounds per audition process. So I remember literally even enjoying the audition process, but being like, this is literally why I want to leave the industry because this is just so much. Because we went through, it's like first they asked you to go on video. And then if you passed video, they invited you to dance. And then they would cut people from there. And then you came in to sing by yourself. And they cut people from there. Then you came in and sang literally against like the other people you're competing against. So the people who are up against you, we all were in the same room singing for each other, singing for the judges. And then they cut again. And then we had our final round. So there were 5 rounds.
That's
5.
great.
Yeah, 5 rounds. And it was there were long days. It was very tedious. So I remember being like, yeah, if I don't book this, I don't know if I can do this again. Like, this is so much. And then they asked me to come back. And I was like, ugh. Like they asked me, I auditioned through video first. I didn't get a call back. I reached out to them directly because I was like, no, I feel like I'm right for this show. And I sent them my videos. They invited me to come, went through that process. They said they were going to let people know one way or the other. They didn't let me know one way or the other. So I was like, oh, guess I went through that for nothing. And then they reached out again. That was November of 2021. And then in January of 2022, they reached out again. And at that time, I had just like done this show that I did not like. It was like the worst professional experience I've ever had as a performer. And then I did a choreography gig and I hated that as well. Like that was the worst experience I ever had. So it was like
back to back terrible things for you.
Yeah, like horrible things. And it's just like I already was over it. So I remember, and I was auditioning for 6 while I was in rehearsal for this experience. Like it was honestly like very traumatic. Like I talked to one of my close friends now and we became close because we both went through like such a traumatic experience in that show. And then there were just like a lot of like really mean things said to both me and to her. When you're already like, you're auditioning for this show that you think you're perfect for, you don't get the audition, like you don't book it. So that already makes you feel bad. Then you're going to rehearsal and they're acting like you're horrible. So then you're like, well, maybe I really do suck. And then teaching and choreographing have always been my thing to fall back on. And then they were acting like as if I sucked at that too. So it just was like a lot. And I just was over all of it. And then they contacted me from 6 again and asked me to come back in. And I really was contemplating not going just because I'm like, I don't know if I can go. Like, if I don't book this, I literally don't know if I can go through 3 things in a row of like heartbreak. So I was prayerful about it even up until the morning of, because I was in the middle of that rehearsal process. I was like, I'm tired. I don't even want to go to this. But I went anyway. I was like, let me just show up. Clearly they want to see something.
You are living proof to not give up, literally. Like, this wasn't like a one and done, oh, I tried. This was like, you tried for your whole life. You've been in this industry, and finally it happened for you. And I'm so happy it worked out for you.
I'm happy too. And then on the other end of that, I feel like after the pandemic, before the pandemic, I was like, I've always been someone who did a lot of things, right? But I realized during the pandemic that that's not always healthy as well. So like, I'm glad that I kept going, and I'm also glad that I set like boundaries for myself. And I feel like that's another reason why I'm glad that I'm old when this, not old, but like older when this is happening, because I can look at it and like through the experience. I think I had a good experience because I was like setting boundaries for myself, and I wasn't going to like overextend myself and people please. And like, I made conscious decisions to not do that. And so it also made it special booking this, because it was like me 100% as Gabby. I didn't have to change the way I talked, the way I sung, my personality, the way I danced. Like, it was authentically me. And so it took a long time to get there, but when I got there, it was like perfect for me. So I think it's important also to like know yourself and set boundaries so the right opportunities come, because a lot of people don't do that. And I was one of those people who didn't do that, but now I do it, and my life is so much better now. So much better.
Wow. We didn't even plan this, but that's like the perfect segue into what I want to talk to you with you about, is just being like, whether it's like a business or your talent or something, you have to be completely shameless, is what I'm learning. Especially want to talk to you about this because of your industry. Like, you have to go, whether you're teaching in front of a class of like 30 kids, or you're on stage in front of hundreds of people, or you're doing your, what's it called when you do the, when you record yourself?
Self-tape?
Self-tapes. Yeah. When you do those, or like when you're auditioning in front of people, like, you have to be, you're putting yourself out there, and you can't be ashamed of what you're doing if you want to be successful in it. So, I mean, have you always just been, have you ever felt ashamed of what you do? Like, how did you?
I feel like it came and went. Like, I feel like very young, I knew what I wanted to do. Like, I technically started professionally when I was 4 years old, and I'm 30 now. So I always knew I wanted to perform. I don't think I knew I could make a career out of it until I was like a junior in high school, senior in high school. But I also, like, to be honest, I feel like I didn't fit in a lot of the time. Like, people, for whatever reason, always wanted to like exclude me out of things. So I had to be by myself anyway. So I think
because they were intimidated, I think.
Say that again?
Probably because they were intimidated.
Yeah, I guess. But they would always exclude me, and it just made me like, okay, well, you don't like me anyway, so I literally don't care what you think. And people always say like, I don't care what people think, but I literally don't care what people think, because like,
no, you really don't.
It's not like, if you're not paying my bills, if you're not getting me a job, if you're not enhancing my life, if you're not like close to me, I don't really care what you think. Sorry, not sorry. Like, it doesn't actually impact my life either way. So then when I inherited that mentality, it was easier for me to do certain things. Even like when I took during the pandemic a social media marketing class, and that's how I found like TikTok, because it was like the class was about Instagram, which is hard to monetize on. And then it was like about Facebook, which is harder to monetize on. And then e-commerce, which like is the whole thing, as you know. And then it was like TikTok. And what the girl said was that like, you can't care what people think about you. One, because your existing audience is not your target audience anyway. And two, if someone is watching you post and promote yourself or do something that makes you happy and they have a negative reaction, those aren't your people anyway. So I feel like once I got past that and thinking like, oh, so-and-so is going to think this about me, then I just like posted whatever and whenever I wanted. And then that's when my following grew. And like, I act a fool on TikTok, but it's fun. Like, it cracks me up. Like, I have more followers than my students. It's hilarious. Like, literally way more followers than my high school students. And they're so mad about it. And it cracks me up. But it's because I just act like myself. Like, I just act a fool. Like, I crack myself up. Even if I get like 2 views, I crack myself up. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I love how you are on TikTok is like really how you are in real life. Like, I love seeing that. And, you know, some people put on this whole show or whatever, but you really have taught me like to be authentic when it comes to doing what you want to do. Because you kind of just explained how at a young age you learned to just not care what, you know, it doesn't affect me what you think. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this. But for me, I think it was the opposite. And that's hurt me in a lot of ways, especially when it comes to like businesses. I think been afraid to really put it out there. Even like doing a podcast, I'd be like, oh, you know, I do a podcast. Like, no, I should be like, I am doing a podcast and just be more like, why are people so ashamed of doing something?
Because people
I don't know.
Mean. Honestly, like that's really why. Like, I feel like the older I get, the more I realize people are like mean. Not obviously not everyone, but like a lot of people are really mean, and especially on social media and like the internet, like the trolls get stronger and stronger every year. So like it makes it, you know, you make yourself judge what you're doing because you know someone's going to say something, but it's like they're going to say something anyway. So you might as well just do it because what, you know what I mean? Like you're not going to do something that someone's not going to comment on. And that's what I learned. And once I accepted that, I'm like, you're going to say something mean anyway, so I might as well promote myself or get paid. And you still say something, but I'm getting paid, so I don't care, you know? That's my philosophy.
I think it's also about who you're surrounding yourself with. Like, so backstory. Back in like the late MySpace, early Facebook days, I used to take my mom's camcorder and do like different characters and like record myself and do like dances and stuff. Basically what people are doing now and becoming like these huge influencers off of. I used to do that and post it, and like all the older girls in my high school and stuff would like comment and make fun of me. Like if I just had you as a friend back then to be like, just do it anyways. Like people are going to say shit. Like I think maybe things would have been different. So I definitely also who you surround yourself with.
It's so true. Like people, even it's sad too, because I feel like between like 20 and 30 is when you find out who like your real friends are. And so there are a lot of people who pretend to be your friends that are actually haters. So then that's part of it as well, because like they're pretending to support you and they're pretending that they, you know, and then they actually talk about you behind your back. So then it makes you like subconscious, because then you also have to deal with like the betrayal of that, or like that's just how people are at that age. So I feel like now I have a really good group of friends, and I feel like it took me a while to get there, but now it's like people always laugh. I have 14 best friends. I have 14 of them because they're all amazing people. But I always say my best friends they're my best friends. And they're my friends, and they're my acquaintances. Like, I don't hang out with anyone other than these 14 people. And they're all from different parts of my life and all over the world. They're not all in, like, one place. So it's like some people I've known as a kid. Some people I know from high school. Some people I know from when I lived in Minnesota. Some people I know from college. Some people I know from professional gigs. But, like, they're all my people, and that's, like, my core group of people. And they're the only people I talk to. I don't really talk to anyone else at all. And I don't mind it.
Yeah. And I even used to have friends who I'd send like Instagram photos to or reels, like not posted yet, and be like, oh, what do you think? Like, Is this a wall pic? And if they tell me no, I wouldn't post it. Like, why am I asking other people for permission to post? Like, who cares?
We all do it sometimes, though. I'm pretty confident, but there are some times where I'm like, when I was on the boat, I made the decision that I was going to commit to posting one picture a day, like every single day on Instagram, and start like aligning my grid. And I just remember feeling like I was over posting or like oversaturating, but also there were like people, and I feel like they meant well, but like people would be like, LOL, yeah, we get it, you're in 6, or they'd be like, wow, you post so much, and they like say it like with a laugh. And then so there was a time where I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't, and then I'm like, no, I'm gonna like keep posting as much as I want. Like, and I'm going, and like my following grew, it doubled in size from the time I got on the boat to the time I got off. And like, I was able to really interact with like our fans, because 6 has a huge fan base that we call the Queendom. And because of that, the fans would always reach out to me specifically and be like, we feel like you're such an ambassador for the show. And like, we feel like you brought us into the show, and like, you keep us updated. And like, they really appreciated it, and it made them feel really connected. And I'm like, and that's why I did it, not for my haters, you know?
So A, stop being so ashamed of your shit. And B, we don't need people's permission to do anything. We really don't. If you want to do something, do it. Unless it's illegal, then maybe not. But
no, truly.
Yeah.
Wait, when is this going to be posted? Side note, this video.
Sometime this week.
Okay. Well, I will say I'm going to speak in code, but also because I posted, I feel like that got me another major opportunity because of what and how frequently I was posting, and because of the audience I made with like the bond and connection I made with my audience. That got me another really big opportunity. And that's why I also was like, when these people were trying to make me feel bad about posting, I was like, but it worked. So, hello.
Right. Just for you. Sucks to be you and not me. No, kidding. No. I'd like to end the show doing something called Keeping It Real with Gabby, because you just keep it real 100 all the time. But before that, I wanted to give you like the spotlight in case there's anything you wanted to brag about yourself. Because I mean, no shame. If you want to brag about yourself, you should brag about yourself. So,
I don't know.
Spotlight is yours.
I don't have anything to brag about.
When you're put on the spot.
I know, I'm like,
oh, come on.
When people are like, send me your bio, and I'm like, I don't know what to put. Like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like the thing I brag about the most is not even necessarily me. I'm just very blessed to be a part of like a really amazing show like 6. And everyone from the writers to every person we work with are just like amazing human beings. But to be a part of like the message that like women are amazing and we don't need men. And like
period.
Things like we cannot let men define us. I feel like it's such an amazing show to be a part of. And I just feel very blessed to be a part of it. And I'm so grateful that they picked me and my castmate. I mean, it's crazy. I feel like it's a flex that I'm in 6, but like I don't look at it that way because I'm just very grateful to be there. And so was everybody that I worked with. We were all just like, we were all fangirls. So the fact that we were in the show, we were still fans of the show. We still are fans. Like my friend Sasha went to go see 6 yesterday.
Oh, cool.
Saw another cast.
And then listen, I'm going to see it.
Go see it. It's so good.
I know. I just want to see it when you're in it.
Well, maybe one day you'll get that chance.
Yes.
Wink, wink.
But you weren't just in the show. You were also the show captain, right?
Mm-hmm. I was a show captain.
That's pretty badass.
It was crazy. It was a lot of responsibility because, like I said, like I love the show so much that it was my job to keep the show integrity. So it was a lot of work, but I feel like I was with a group of people who all wanted to do the best we could do. So like if something was off, no one had an ego. It was like this harmony was off tonight. then we would work on it and fix it. Or they'd be like, how do I fix that? Or, you know, and so such a great honor to be able to lead that group of queens. Yeah, I love them. We talk every day. We literally have a group chat. We've been gone almost 2 months now, and we talk like every day.
Wow, it's really already been 2 months?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. We got off the boat on December 2nd.
Wow.
Crazy.
Well, that was a good brag, I think.
I know. I don't know. I told you, I'm not like I don't like talking about myself.
Yeah, I know. We need to normalize it. I'd do the same thing. I'd be like, I don't know what to say.
Right.
Okay, let's keep it real with Gabby. I have quite a few questions for you.
Yay.
But the first question is, have you ever Googled yourself?
Yeah, I have a Google alert on myself.
You are so Google, like, this is such a flex for me. And thank you for allowing me to have this flex. But like, my friend is Googleable. Like, you can literally Google Gabby Mack and all these different like fan pages come up and like your headshots. Like, that is the coolest thing.
That's crazy. Yeah, I Google myself because I have Google alerts. So like anytime my name is mentioned in something, it gets into my phone just so I can see if someone's like dragging me online or something. That's why I did it. But you can do it for yourself. You should Google alert yourself and all your businesses so you can see where they're popping up.
Wow. I just learned something. Wow, I didn't know that. Question number 2. Fast forward, future Gabby, and you have a baby. Your child tells you they want to get into the industry. They want to be on Broadway. They want to be a performer. What do you say to them?
Yes, I would support it as long as they still have a normal life. Like, I still want them to do normal things, but it's like if they're serious about it, then I will support it and get them the training and resources they need. And if they decide that they don't want to do it anymore, then we're done that moment. Like, I won't force anything on my kids because my parents were like that with me. They didn't force anything on me and they always supported me doing this. So I'm going to be the same way.
Speaking of your parents, did they name you Gabriella Mack on purpose? Because it's so, like, you have a celebrity name.
They named me after the angel of music, Gabriel. But they made it a girl name, Gabriella. And then my mom named me also Gabriella because she wanted my nickname to be Bree. But no one calls me Bree, including her.
I was just going to say, does she call you Bree?
No. But that's why she picked Gabriella. So I was an angel of music and yeah.
Wow, that's so pretty. But you really do have, like, you know how a lot of celebrities will change their name or use their middle names and stuff to sound more like famous? To have you just have like a famous name, like Gabby Mack.
It's hilarious. Well, funny story about that. I've always gone by Gabriella Mack. For this, they asked me if I wanted to be Gabriella or Gabby. And I think I said I wanted to be Gabriella, but somehow it was released in the press release as Gabby. And then that's what I was known as because instantly the fans started following us. And then I was just Gabby Mack from there. And I was like, oh, that, like, no one calls me Gabriella, so it works. And so now I'm Gabby Mack professionally. It worked out.
No, I get that too. People have told me before that I need to use my full name if I want to be taken seriously instead of just like Sammy or something. But this, like, all my friends call me Sammy, so like it's hot. I don't know.
Exactly.
I feel you. Question number 3. No shade to whatever or whoever your answer may be, but are there any Broadway shows that you hope never come back?
I am not a fan of Carousel, but it's because it like glorifies abuse, which I'm not like, I don't think needs to be happening. I saw the revival and like the production was gorgeous. The cast was amazing, but I was like, why is this story being told? This was like 2017 or something. I was like, why is this being told now in the 21st century? So yeah. Carousel.
Next question. Well, I guess you kind of already answered this with the podcast, but I wanted to ask you if there are any other business plans that you think we'll be seeing from you in the next year or two?
I think I'm going to, because I'm doing another contract for a show for like, I'm going to be away basically for like 6 or 7 months. So basically that would be like a year and a half that I've been away back to back. So I think when I get back, which will be in August, I feel like I'm going to just focus on my coaching and teaching for a little bit and take a break. So like with my company, $10 tune-up, we've been doing new things like opening library access so that people can find the things they need. And I've been doing social media coaching privately with people. So I think I'll do more of that. And just career coaching more so than like working on a song. Like I'd rather do career coaching so people know what they're getting themselves into and like how to do their resume, how to find an audition, how to like do certain stuff, where to shop at for the stuff they need for auditions. So yeah, I would probably expand that to make like every access available to people.
And all of that for $10?
Oh no. The $10. So we have audition book packages. So that's where the 10 came from originally. It's just like a quick, like a tune up. So like, if you're like, I have an audition coming up and I just need some new songs, slide us $10. We send you songs to look at and for your voice. But no, the other stuff will be more. I learned that too. As I got older, I'm like, this is a lot of work for not a lot of money. And I want to help people, but also the amount of work that me and my team are doing, I'm like, okay, I can't keep paying them pennies. So
yeah. No, I think I could see how everything you just said though would be helpful to a lot of people. So you were in Alaska for the majority of the time. And then the last month you were in Mexico, right?
Yeah.
Would you ever go back to either of those places?
Yeah, I think Alaska is like it's really beautiful. And if you like nature and hiking, it's like an amazing place to be for 5 months. I'm not that person, mostly because I am quite literally allergic to everything. So like I walk outside and my face swells up. Like I'm just allergic to everything.
Wait, I forgot you've told me that you're just like allergic to life.
Literally everything. I just start sneezing and itching. And like it's interesting because like depending on where you are, Alaska isn't super cold, but then the excursions you go on, most of them are like ice climbing, ice fish diving, like stuff like that. So like when you go out into Alaska, it is very cold and I just have no interest in doing that. But I would go back to visit. I just would like prefer not to be on a contract there for that long. I would do another contract. And if I could see other places in Alaska, I would love it because Alaska really is beautiful, but not for 5 months.
No.
And then Mexico, I'd go back. That was the best. Like, I'm glad we ended our contract that way because we were on the beach every day when we weren't performing, and it was great.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do Alaska for that long either. Maybe a weekend. You know how like at high school you have a high school counselor or like just a psychiatrist on site? Like, was there anyone you guys could talk to if it was just like if you needed it?
Yeah, there wasn't, as far as I know, anyone on this ship, but actually, so Six, which is XY's Limited, that's the name of their corporation, and Norwegian are partners on this project, but they're separate. So Six, XY's Limited, provides a 24-hour resource for us that's free of charge to us that we can talk to people.
That's amazing.
They give it to us for free. So yeah, we have access to it 24/7, which is exciting.
That's awesome. I think just because last week before I was like thinking about what I would talk to you about, I had another therapy session and I was just thinking like, wow, Gabby was on a ship for 6 months with pretty much no Wi-Fi. Like she can't just hop on a Zoom call and speak with a therapist if she wanted to. But that's good. That's good news that they have that. Okay, my last question was going to be, can you give us any hints for what your next big contract's going to be? Any clues?
It's going to be really good. That's the hint I can give.
When will we find out? When will we find out? What?
Probably at least like a month. Today is January 23rd. So by February 23rd, y'all will know. But I don't know when we're allowed to. We start rehearsal on February 5th. Or, well, we arrive February 5th. We start rehearsal February 6th. But I don't know if we're able to announce that week or if we have to announce weeks later. But at least by the 23rd of February, you'll know.
So all of Gabby's followers and all of my 50 YouTube subscribers. February. That was it, really. That was pretty
Yay,
good.
we did it.
Thank you for being my first guest on the BENSBOSS podcast.
Thank you for having me. First blog guest, first podcast guest.
Yes. And you'll be a first something else. I don't know what I'm doing next, but you'll be first to be on whatever it is.
Period. I was one of the first people to have the tea too, which me and my mom drank this morning. So the teas are very good. I highly recommend. I have the what is it? So Money? Is that what it is? That's the vanilla chai. That's the one I have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't say this, but that's my favorite one.
Yeah.
They should all be my favorite, but that's my favorite one.
Because vanilla chai, it's the best.
You were also like my first on the daily order back in the day, like on Amazon. You were the first reviewer, and to make it on Amazon, you have to have reviews. So thank you. Yeah. Wow, you're such a good friend. Thank you.
I try.
No, you really are, though. Thank you for doing this. I'm going to go edit it and hope that it doesn't suck.
Yay! Also, I'm going to be in New York next week, but only for a day.
Stop! Are you really?
No, I'll basically be there for like 2 days because I'm there for 2 half days and then 1 full day. Like I get in late Sunday. I'll be there only Monday. Like that's a full day. And then Tuesday afternoon I leave. So if you're available Monday, let me know.
I'm available.
Period.
I'm available. Yay! What a great surprise. That's how you end a podcast. Gabby's coming to New York. Her favorite city in the whole entire world.
That's what I should name my new podcast. Anyway.
You better not ask me to go on that one. Peace out.
Bye. Love you. You're blurry. I hate my computer. I'm over this. Okay. Love you. Bye.